You know, usually when we do these deep dives, we're looking at the big shiny thing at the end of the chain, the 8K screen, the massive process.
Fortune, yeah.
Exactly. But today, we're talking about the highway that actually gets the signal there.
And it is a very specific, and I have to admit, a very, very expensive highway.
It is. We are talking about the Key Digital KD-AOCH197P. That is a 197-foot
60 meters.
60-meter active optical HDMI cable. And just to get it out of the way, the price is around $466.
Which I know sounds like a lot for a cable, but our mission here is really just about physics. How do you push a massive 4K signal across almost 200 feet without it just, falling apart?
Because that's the whole problem, right? You can't just go to the store and chain a bunch of normal HDMI cables together. At that length, copper just gives up.
It completely gives up. Copper has resistance.
Yeah.
And when you're pushing a high bandwidth signal like 4K video, that electrical signal degrades.
Yeah.
Fast.
Yeah.
By the time it reaches the display, it's unusable.
And that's where the active optical part comes in.
Exactly. This is a hybrid cable. It takes the really heavy data channels, the TMDS channels that carry your video and audio, and it converts them from electricity into light.
So it's literally using fiber optic strands inside.
Right. And light doesn't have that resistance problem. So the picture quality you get at foot 1 is, mathematically identical to the picture you get at foot 197.
And they talk about this open eye technology in the specs. It sounds a bit like marketing fluff, but it's a real thing.
Oh, it's a real thing. It's a testing standard, basically, that guarantees zero signal loss. It makes sure the distinction between the digital ones and zeros, the eye, is still perfectly clear at the end of that very long run.
Which is so important when you're moving 18 gigabits per second of data. We're talking 4K Ultra HD, 60 frames a second, and full 4.4.4 color.
And that 4.4.4 part is key. It means there's zero color compression. A lot of these long-distance workarounds, they cheat. They throw out some of the color information to save bandwidth. This doesn't.
Now, when I hear active cable, my mind immediately goes to, I have to find another power outlet somewhere. A USB port, a wall wart.
Right, another power brick to hide.
But there isn't one, so.
How is it powered?
And that is the most elegant part of this whole thing. It's powered by HDMI. It just sips the tiny amount of voltage that's already present on the HDMI port of your Blu-ray player or your AV receiver.
That is an absolute lifesaver for an installer. You do not want to be fishing for a power outlet inside a wall or a ceiling.
No.
Speaking of ceilings, let's talk about the name. AOCH197P. What's that P for?
Ah, yes. The P is for plenum.
Okay, for those of us who aren't commercial installers, what is a plenum space?
So in a lot of commercial buildings, or even some homes, the space above a drop ceiling is used for air circulation. That's the plenum. And if a fire ever starts, you absolutely do not want regular plastic cables in there.
Because they'll melt and pump toxic smoke through the whole building's air system. Precisely. So this P means it has a CMP FT6 UL rating. It's a fire retardant jacket. In many places, that's not just a nice feature. It's a legal requirement.
It's interesting, though, because we're talking about fiber optics. Tiny strands of glass. Is this thing fragile? I'd be a little nervous pulling it.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Modern fiber is actually pretty tough. The specs say this has a pull strength of 33 pounds on the fiber itself, and the connector can take over 50 pounds.
And because it's fiber, not a big bundle of thick copper, it's thinner, right?
Much thinner. You get a much tighter bend radius, so you can sneak it around corners way more easily than some of those old, chunky HDMI cables.
So once you've got it installed, what's the experience like? What does it actually deliver?
It delivers everything. Full stop. Visually, you're getting full high dynamic range, so that's your HDR10 and Dolby Vision.
Okay.
And for audio, it handles all the big uncompressed formats. Dolby Atmos, Dolby True HD, DTS HD, Master Audio, no compromises.
But there is one huge gotcha for the install process. I saw this in the notes.
Oh yeah, the big one.
This is a directional cable.
Correct. You have to pay attention. One end is labeled source, and the other is labeled display. The little chips inside are different on each end.
The source end turns electricity into light, and the display end turns it back.
Yep, and if you plug them in backward, you get absolutely nothing, just a black screen.
Can you imagine pulling 200 feet of this through a finished ceiling only to realize the wrong end is at the projector?
It happens more than you'd think. You always check the labels first.
So really, when you zoom out, what this is, it's a professional-grade bridge. It's taking the fragile, long-distance power of fiber optics and packaging it into a simple plug-and-play HDMI cable.
It's basically bringing the infrastructure of the internet right into your home theater.
It really is. And it makes you think, doesn't it? We talk so much about the wireless age, but for true, uncompressed, high-fidelity signal,
Yeah, for the really important stuff.
we're actually relying more on physical cables than ever, just
Yeah.
cables that send light instead of electricity.
The age of copper is slowly ending, even for just watching a movie in the next room.
A fascinating peek at the unsung hero of AV. Thanks for listening to this deep dive.